Do you feel it in your soul? Yeah. No, when it's right, you don't let go. Hey, you don't let go. We've been through so many things. And if you need my love, I'll give you more. Let it in your heart.
Now look, all jokes aside, we all know Tamar Braxton can sing, okay? Every singer has their moments, their bad days, and even the occasional rough performance. So we're not about to sit here and clown Tamar over one shaky moment. Well, Tamar responded and basically said, "No, I didn't have an off day. Play all the way home. I was dancing right before that and couldn't catch my breath. I'm not going to let y'all play with me like that." Followed by laughing emojis. Now the comments, of course, were hilarious. One person said, "I love me some Tamar, but she sounded like she needed an oxygen tank." Now, Tamar, I'm going to need you to have a conversation with your people, because in their effort to defend you, the stories just are not matching up. You said it was not an off day. You were simply dancing and couldn't catch your breath. But then your makeup artist came in and said, "Y'all caught Tamar on a day her voice was completely strained due to allergies, and she still pushed through anyway for her fans." That's what any dedicated artist would do. One off day doesn't define an entire career. So now I'm confused. Tamar says it wasn't an off day because she had just been dancing. Your people are saying it was an off day because of allergies. So which one is it? Regardless of which version you believe, we all know Tamar can sing. She simply had a moment. And of course, social media had plenty to say. Some people were like, "Well then, girl, stop dancing. Just get up there, sing your songs, and go." Y'all are so crazy. Now, yes, I did see the clip of some of the little dance moves Tamar was doing. She said after that quick little 1-2 step, she had to catch her breath, and that's why she sounded like that. Like I said, we all know Tamar can sing, but one thing about social media, they will always remind you. One person even wrote, "Not the universe swinging back at Tamar for calling Candy Burr's Billy Goat voice last year, and now she showed up vocally winded and fried on the mic." And yes, they were referring back to those old tweets where Tamar made those comments. Then, of course, Tamar used a moment to promote her music, which honestly, smart move. Now, let's move on to another Braxton. Remember last night when I posted that video on Towanda Braxton? I told y'all there were still more comments to read and more things to discuss, but it was getting late, and I really wanted to get that video out that same night. So because the Tamar segment was pretty short, I figured why make two separate videos when they're both part of the same family drama? We might as well squeeze Towanda into this video and keep everything nice and compact. Now, one of the main issues people had with Towanda's last Instagram live was a comment she made about her mother and sister's passing. And you know what? Let me insert that clip real quick to refresh everyone's memory.
Trina was talking to Tony. Tony was talking about how maybe possibly we should talk to Kevin's dad, and we were saying no. Another part of it is that you guys have to understand that you're going to see, in the later part of this episode, that absolutely, Trina was absolutely right. Tracy absolutely didn't want these things. She absolutely it was very firm about not wanting a funeral. She said it several times that she did not want a funeral. She did not want a viewing. She did not want any sorts. She actually put it in her will. And I understand that Tony is, trying to play kumbaya by saying that we don't know what happened in their marriage. But no, we don't know. But what we do know is that Tracy was adamant about what she wanted. She was adamant about what she did not want. And she was so firm on that she put it in her will. Period. Just saying. So, Yeah. It doesn't matter. If a person's wishes are their wishes, then that's what it should be. That's it. That's it.
That's it, and that's all.
That's it, and that's all.
Amen.
That's it, and that's all. That's it. Ain't nobody cut him off. If y'all only knew all the stuff that we know, just know that.
That's funny. Y'all cut him off. That's funny.
No, but that was Tracy's husband. That wasn't our husband. That was Tracy's husband. That was Tracy's choice and Tracy's husband. We weren't laying with that man. She was. That was her husband. Her husband. Not ours. We have a relationship with our nephew. He is grown. Behind big as mine. Grown. Got his own family. Got his own son. He damn near 30 years old. He's grown. We don't need an extra person to have a relationship with our nephew. Period. He grown. I can understand if he was 5 years old, then of course we would have to have a relationship with Tracy's husband. But we don't have to have a relationship with him. Kevin's grown.
And he's old enough to make choices for who he feels comfortable talking to and not talking to.
Exactly.
So if he wasn't fooling with you or fooling with y'all or whatever, he wouldn't. He don't have to.
He don't have to.
He don't have to.
It's his choice. I mean, there's a lot of times. That's like, say, for instance, mommy's sister passed away, right? And she was married. My mother's sister was married. That was our uncle, but he was our uncle through marriage. You think we're going to get on the phone and call him?
Nope.
So, honestly, it really depends on the situation. If it's a divorce, breakup, or family conflict, I can understand why people may no longer keep in touch with that side of the family. Once your loved one is no longer connected to that person, sometimes the relationship naturally ends too. But when it comes to a death in the family, especially if that person was kind and everyone had a good relationship, then yes, morally it makes sense to check in every now and then. A simple phone call to ask how they're doing takes nothing, even if you're not obligated. Now, in Tracy Braxton's case, I understand why there may be distance. There was already family friction, and then there was the issue of her final wishes allegedly not being followed, which understandably upset both the sisters and her son. So I can see why emotions are still involved there. At the same time, people online were confused because the story wasn't fully explained. If there were already issues with the uncle before or after Tracy passed, that context should have been mentioned. Without it, people are naturally going to make assumptions and start dragging everyone in the comments. That's really where the backlash came from. Not necessarily the decision itself, but the lack of clarity. Sometimes if you don't want people questioning your family choices, it's better to either explain the context clearly the first time or just not bring it up at all. Either way, I'm wishing the entire family healing, and may Tracy continue to rest in peace. And before I go, social media is still clowning the Tamar situation, with people jokingly blaming JR for everything from the vocals to the outfits. Y'all are too much. Anyway, I'm wishing all of you well. Thank you so much for your love and support. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, leave this video a thumbs up, and turn on your notifications so you know whenever I post. I'll see you all in the comments. And remember to always keep that God-blessed attitude. Stay positive and always look good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.